CQ, CQ, CQ. CQ, CQ, CQ. Calling the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Calling the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. The coffee is ready. I repeat, the coffee is ready. All stations, please stand by. Welcome to the 61st edition of the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. We gather here every Sunday at 7 a.m. local on the 442.2 KE4CCB repeater that is located in Tennessee on top of Holston Mountain. We are using a tone of PL tone of 100 Mark 0 Hertz. My name is JJ, that's Juliet Juliet. My call is November 9 Tango November, and I am located in Boring, Tennessee. I'll be your net control and barista for this session of the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. This net is not affiliated with any of the clubs or organizations, but to be a neutral source of information for the amateur radio community. The purpose of this net is to discuss ham radio, exchange ideas, and of course drink a boatload of coffee. If at any time during the net there's an emergency, please indicate so with a break, and net control will gladly and promptly take your call. Before I take any check-ins, is there anybody on frequency that has any news or announcements? Anybody with news or announcements, please call N9TN. Is there anybody on frequency that has any news or announcements for the net? Any news or announcements, please call N9TN. All right, nothing heard. I have a few things here. The Sunday Morning Coffee Net has a reminder newsletter. Visit our website at cqtn.org/coffee. That is Charlie Quebec Tango November.org/coffee, and scroll down all the way to the bottom of the page. Click the subscribe button, and this newsletter is the only way to get the questions for this net early, and it also tells you where the Thursday night coffee after brew will be that following week. Speaking in the after brew, February 27th, this Thursday, 8:30 p.m. This is our informal rag chew on random repeaters. This week we'll be on the 14511. That'll be the 14511, and that is the KF4LNS repeater. And I believe that one is still on Holston Mountain. So that's the K4LNS repeater 145.11. Let me let it drop. The 10th annual ham radio presentation at Town Acres Elementary School is coming up on March the 28th. That is the Friday. And we will be there teaching kids and showing kids and demonstrating kids all about amateur radio. So we're still looking for some in-person support to help out with tear-down setup and present to the kids. We're also looking folks to stand by on simplex and local repeaters to chat with the kids while we're on the air with them. That way they'll be able to talk to people while we're doing the demonstration. We'll be using special event call sign for the 10th anniversary, W4T, that's Whiskey 4 Tango. Again, this is Friday, March 28th at 8:30 a.m. till about 2, and setup will start approximately 7 a.m. 7 a.m. for setup. So if you're interested, you could either contact me. My email address is good on QRZ, or you could contact Eric, my brother, WX4ET, and his email address is good on QRZ. We're still looking for some in-person support, so come out and help us out and have fun with the kids. Let me let it drop. Alrighty, is there anybody else with any news or announcements? Any news or announcements for the net? Please call N9TN. Alright, nothing heard. This is the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. My call is N9TN. I will be taking check-ins from in-and-out stations. These are in-and-out stations only, or those that don't wish to be called back during the net. Please give your call sign slowly and phonetically, and also announce your name and location. This is N9TN, Net Control.
Net Control, this is Kilo November 4, Mike Victor Hotel, Larry in Greene County. I'm going to be in and out.
All right, Larry, I have you, KN4 MVH. Good morning to you. And somebody perfect doubled with you. The other station, go.
Net Control, this is Kilo Mike 4, Bravo Mike Delta, Derek in Vallis, North Carolina.
Well, good morning, Derek. Hope you're doing all right. Got you in and out. Any other in and out stations? In and out stations only, please call. This is the Sunday Morning Coffee Net taking in and out stations. In and out stations only, please call N9TN. The Sunday Morning Coffee Net operates as a participation-based net with the following format. You'll be asked a series of 3 questions, and then we'll conclude the net with additional comments that will include your 7-3. If during any time during the net you need to refill your cup of coffee, please inform Net Control. Our questions for the day are as follows. Question number 1, Morse Code. Morse Code, that's CW, Morse Code. That's the das and dits. Do you think we need to make it a requirement to get extra class license? Do you think we need to make it a requirement to get amateur extra? What's your take on that? Question number 2. Do you read? Do you like to read? If so, who is your favorite author? So we're looking for your favorite author on that question, or authors if you've got a few. What do you like to read? And then question number 3, what is for breakfast? What are we eating this morning? Those are the questions here on the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. All right, this is N9TN with the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. I'm taking regular check-ins. Regular check-ins for the net, please call N9TN.
TN, check in Kilo 4 Tango Whiskey Pop-Up Bill in Kingsport.
Hello? Please copy Kilo Oscar 4, Echo Victor Charlie, Marcus and Johnson City, KO4EVC, Echo Victor Charlie.
Net Control, please check in Kilo 9 Lima Tango Romeo, K9LTR, Tom and Gray. Net Control, please check in Kilo Delta 4 November Tango, Dwayne in Bristol City. Please check in Kilo Delta 4 November Tango, Dwayne in Bristol.
Control, please check in Kilo Zulu 4 India Tango, Richard in Elizabethton.
Net Control, please check in Kilo Delta 4 Whiskey Mike X-Ray, KD4 WMX, Ken in Quiet Lodi.
So India 4, Alpha Mike Delta, Mac in Friendship.
All right, I've got a few here. Good morning, Bill, K4TWP. Marcus, good morning to you, KO4EVC. Tom, hello in gray, K9LTR. Dwayne, I have you, good morning, KD4NT. I think Les was underneath of you, N4TLB. Good morning to you, sir. Richard, good morning to you, KZ4IT. And Ken, Quiet Lodi, good morning, KD4WMX. And then Mac, KI4AMD. Good morning to you, friend. Any other check-ins for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, please call N9TN.
Check-in November for Delta Tango Bravo. That's N4DTB, David of Bluff City.
Kilo Echo 4, Whiskey Mike Lima, in and out today. I don't know if you can hear me.
All right, have N4DTB. Good morning, David. And Bradley, I have a good copy on you. You're a little bit noisy, but I do copy you. You want to stay in? Boy, that was fast. All right, any other check-ins for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, please call N9TN. This is the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Taking check-ins. Please call N9TN. All right, we'll take a pause right there. And we will ask the questions here again. Morse code. Do you think we need to make it a requirement to get amateur extra? What's your thought on that? What's your take? Question number 2. Do you like to read? And this is like books, novels, things like that. Not magazines. I guess you could. Yeah, let's just broaden the thing up a little bit here. What's your favorite thing to read? If so, who's your favorite author? And question number 3, what is for breakfast? What are we eating this morning? All right, we'll go up and say good morning again to Bill, K4TWP. Good morning to you, my friend. What do you think about these questions this morning?
Good morning, JJ, and everyone on the net. This is K4TWP. Question 1, Morse code. I'm kind of conflicted on that one. I don't personally do Morse code. And when I was a youngin', when I first got interested in radio, I had trouble with the Morse code. So I would say no, but I could see where somebody might say yes. I know back in 2014 they reinstated it. I read that they reinstated it on the general and extra for a while, but then they did away with it again. Question 2, do you like to read? Yes. Let me let it drop. When I was young, I was an avid science fiction reader. I liked Robert Heinlein and Clark and Asimov. Nowadays, still into science fiction, but I like Jack Campbell as a current day author. And question 3, what's for breakfast? Eggs and bacon. This is K4TWP.
All right, very good, very good. Well, I had 2 hard-boiled eggs for breakfast this morning, and a brownie. So that's my, and they're healthy brownies, but they're wonderful. So I've been trying to eat better to feel better, and my weigh-in is in the morning. So as of last Monday, I'm down 25 pounds. So, but I'm still a big guy. I could barely fit in this chair. Anyway, KO4EBC. Marcus, good morning to you, my friend. And what do you think about our questions this morning?
Good morning, JJ, and a quick congratulations there on your successful diet.
Good job. Keep up with it. Great questions today. I enjoy. Well, question number one. I'm getting my feet wet still from Morse Code. I enjoy learning it. I've made very few. In fact, I've just made one CW contact, and that was on field day just to get the multiplier. And man, it's just hard. But it's fun. As far as do I think do we need to get it as a requirement? I am also torn on that. I mean, in a way, I think it would be good because I'm one of those guys that I don't think everybody deserves a trophy. So I think it would just make an extra, that more admirable instead of just handing them out if you just study your questions online and then just memorize the answers. I know that from personal experience because that's how I pass the tech in general. And I'm sure that's how I'm going to pass the extra when it comes time. But anyway, question number two, I'll let it drop. Do I like to read? If so, who is your favorite author? Well, I don't read that much, but I do enjoy it. And if I do have a couple of favorite authors, I would say my favorite would probably be Henry David Thoreau. There's something about Walden that captures me, and he was influenced by Emerson, which I think fond of. I'm more into poems, I guess. I don't have the attention span for a long set down reading, but I do like to read. I spend a lot of time reading instructions, seems lately, and manufacturers' specs. So I pay attention to the details, I guess. Not had breakfast yet, but probably have a banana. But back to you, JJ. I hope everybody's coffee's hot. KO4EBC.
All right, Marcus. Well, that sounds good. I'm going to take a pause right here and see if there's anybody else wishing to check in. So please give your call sign using phonetics. Announce your name and location. This is the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. I am taking check-ins for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Please give your call sign using phonetics. Announce your name and location. This is N9TN, Net Control. All right. Well, back into the questions here. I'm one of those hams that really sit here and think about, why do we have 3 different licenses? In retrospect, to go from a general to an extra, there's not a lot of incentive. I think there's a lot of, or a very minimal bandwidth that you get. Is it nice? Yeah, of course it is. It's nice to have the whole bowl of wax. Is it necessary? No, just put general and extra together if you're going to do that. I really think that we need 2 licenses, kind of like what some of the other countries do. They do like a foundation license, which is kind of like a tech, and then they have their general license or whatever. So, in my opinion, if you want to be the alta mater of amateur radio, you should test for Morse Code. And I'm not a Morse Code person. I can't hear it. I'd never be able to be an extra, but make it enticing. I mean, it's really not a huge deal between generals and extras. And if you want to say, hey, I passed the 50-question test, well, that's all and fine, but that's the only bragging right you get. Give me something else. That's what I'm going for here. Why do we have 3 exams, Anyway, I'm going to turn it over here to Tom, K9LTR. Good morning to you, my friend. This is N9TN with the Sunday Morning Coffee Net.
N910, K9LTR. Good morning, JJ, and everybody on the net. Question 1, that has a lot of angles to it. I'm not exactly sure where I stand on it. I know that I've heard that when they eliminated CW, that it might have brought more people into to getting their extra. But the one thing I kind of found when I talked to fellas that like for me, I wasn't particularly interested in CW when I started, but now I am. The more I examine the components of ham radio, I'm actually looking at maybe joining that Long Island CW club. See, I understand they can really help you build your skills. I'll let it drop here. Question number 2, do I like to read? Yes, I do. I have a lot of authors that I really have a hard time picking what my favorite would be. Right now I'm reading a Robert Ludlum book, The Tristan Betrayal. He also wrote the Jason Bourne series. I'd have to call him my favorite right now because he's the one I'm currently reading. And what's for breakfast? Probably a bowl of raisin bran and an apple. And with that, I'll give it back to you, JJ, K9LTR.
All right, Tom. Very good. Very, very good. Yeah, just as a side note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm watching the Fox Weather Channel in here in the radio room. I don't have the sound up or anything, but I just like the picture to be up there, I guess. I don't know. I don't watch TV. I just look up there every now and then and find something interesting. Well, anyway, Minnesota was doing their annual ice swim. I don't even know where to begin to go with that. It's not going to happen. Anyway, very good. Well, the extra thing is, Tom, is one of those things that, you know, the only thing you really get is and it's not even all the bands, it's just some of them. You get some frequencies, and it's a very small portion of these bands. Now, if they were bigger, yeah, of course, but they're not. All right. Dwayne, good morning to you, my friend. You're next on my list. N9TN. Go ahead, Dwayne. KD4NT.
Good morning, JJ. Everybody on the net. Hope everybody's doing well. As far as Morse code, do you think we need to make it a requirement to get extra? Well, I'm not studying Morse code right now, but I plan on it this summer. I don't think it should be a requirement for extra. If they want, maybe they'll put an extra plus on you or something for getting extra, but I don't think it's a requirement. It shouldn't be a requirement. Do I read a lot? Yeah, I read a whole bunch, but I can't decide between one author and another. I just like reading. And what's for breakfast? Biscuits and gravy. Back to you, JJ, KD4NT.
All right, this is the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. I'm going to take a pause right here. Yeah, Dwayne, I've got so many authors that I like to read that it's hard to pick one. Yeah, I completely understand with that. All right, I'm going to take a pause right here, see if there's anybody wishing to check in, see who else we got out there waiting in the wings. Please give your call sign using phonetics, announce your name and location. This is N9TN, Boring, Tennessee.
Okay, this is KQ4IHI, Kilo, Quebec, 4, India, Hotel, India, Paul in Meadowview.
All right, Paul, I have you. Good morning. KQ4IHI. Any others wishing to check into the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, please call. All right, nothing heard. Go back up to our questions. Next on my list, N4TLB. Good morning, Les. This is N9TN.
November 4, Tango Lima Bravo, Les in Johnson City. Good morning to everybody on the net. As far as question number 1, the CW for extra, there again, I'm kind of torn. I don't know. I'm glad they didn't have it when I tested, because I don't think I could have. I know I couldn't have done it. I'd like to learn maybe they need to have maybe a subcategory of extra for people that do know the CW. As far as reading and author, no, I don't read, so I don't really have an author. My wife does. She's a kind of a bookworm, so. But anyway, what's for breakfast? I think a dish of cereal. So I'll give it back to you, JJ. This is November 4, Tango Lima Bravo.
All right, very good. Richard, good morning to you, my friend. KZ4IT. You're next on my list. This is N9TN with the Sunday Morning Coffee Net.
Good morning, JJ, and good morning, everybody on the net. This is Kilo Zulu 4 India Tango. Yeah, with the Morse code, I'm a no-code extra myself, but I think Morse code should be a requirement, but I'm kind of like the Dwayne there. I think that they should put the plus, like an extra plus, like they used to have the Tech Plus. That way we could get that coveted CW, I don't know, I guess, trophy, like everybody says. On the second question, yeah, I love to read. I love reading nonfiction, but my favorite author is Annie Jacobson. She writes a lot of good books and a lot of good nonfiction there. And what's for breakfast? I think I'm going to have some French toast. But I'll turn it back over to you, JJ, and N9TN.
All right, very good, Richard. That sounds good. Well, my favorite things to read are historical fiction. But I'm very picky on them. Everything has to be time period. And there's a few writers out there that do really well at that. Other than that, I like Amish fiction. I like Christian fiction and things like that. Now, my favorite author is a Christian author. Her name's Karen Kingsbury. I really enjoy reading her stuff. But yeah, there's just so many of them out there that I really like. But I like historical fiction is probably my favorite. Anyway, KD4WMX N9TN. Go ahead, Ken.
Well, good morning, JJ, and everybody else on the net. Got a good net going, as always. This is KD4WMX. And as far as Morse code, well, I always thought, before I got into ham, that would separate us from 11 meters. But I have a hard time with it. I would love to learn it, but as a requirement, I'm conflicted. You know, I say no, but if you want to learn it after you get your extra, go ahead. I know Mac does very well with it. He took a class, and he was in upper class because he was up to 25 words a minute. I'm like, whoa! I can learning letters and that type of stuff, but and numbers and exclamation point and all that stuff. But to hear it, I don't have a clue. And I don't read a whole lot, so my XYL reads quite a bit, but I don't. And for breakfast, it'll probably be bacon and eggs and toast. Back to you, 99 Turtles Napping.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, there's a lot of people in this area that doesn't like to read. I'm very surprised that more don't. I guess life just gets in the way of everything. KI4AMD, you're next on my list, and I'll be listening, but from the other door. I'm going to run down the hall while you make your comment there, Mac. Too much coffee this morning. Go ahead, my friend. This is N9TN.
N9TN in the net from KI4AMD. Yeah, so question number 1 on Morse code. As Ken pointed out, I enjoy Morse code. I think it's funny that he said I'm good at it, like he's, as if he's ever had a conversation with me in Morse code. There's a lot of practice I still need to do there. One of the big things in Morse code is being able to head copy, and I am still not able to effectively head copy Morse code. And I don't know if you've ever tried to write at 25 words per minute, but my hand doesn't move that fast. If I did it on a keyboard, I might be able to pull it off. But do I think it's a requirement? You know, it hasn't been a requirement to get extra for quite some time, and being an active ham radio operator, I've not seen any detrimental effect from that. I don't think. I think it's fine that it's not. Everybody seems to be okay. And another thing, I think Morse code stands on its own merits. A lot of people just love it, and including me. Once I started to work on it, there's a little bit of endorphin rush from when you start to copy Morse code. I can't fully explain it, but there are a whole bunch of people on the air using Morse code, and they don't have to. So obviously it comes with its own rewards. I definitely recommend anybody do it. But then I got to thinking, maybe it shouldn't be a requirement for the extra class license and for those little slivers of bandwidth that you won't find many people to talk to on anyway. But maybe it should be a requirement for the 1x2 and 2x1 call signs. The best reason to have a 1x2 or 2x1 call sign is to have one that's Morse code lightweight, and those things are somewhat scarce because everybody wants one. They are the coolest. JJ, you've got a really cool call sign there, and I've thought about grabbing me one of those too to make it a little shorter in the when I'm sending it by CW. Let's see. Let me let this repeater take a breath. All right. Question number 2. Do I like to read? I think I would like to read, but I don't. I don't read much. If I sit still for any period of time, I tend to fall asleep. I got a lot of things I have to do, and I got a lot of things I like to do, and reading is pretty far down the list on that. At least reading for fun. I'll say a few things about reading. I do not enjoy fiction work, generally. If I'm reading something, I want to learn something from it that's true. I do read through the Bible every year, and I'm in a pattern where I read 2 days from a one-year reading plan, every day, Monday through Friday. I guess my favorite author is Luke. He wrote the Gospel of Luke and Acts, and he thinks a lot like I do. So there are a lot of details there, and a lot of information. He tried to get his details right. So I enjoy reading him. I feel like he kind of represents my own curiosity in that time period. And what's for breakfast? Well, I had a tall, cold glass of milk, and I warmed up a couple of toaster pastries, and the son got both of the toaster pastries. So it was just a glass of milk for me so far. But you know what? Our church does coffee and donuts between Sunday school and the 11 o'clock church service, so I might get me a donut later. I guess that's about it. So I'll turn things back over to JJ, who I'm sure is back from down the hall by now, in 910 from KI4AMD.
All right, this is N9TN with the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Well, I was back. I think you were still discussing the first question when I came back. But see, yeah, that makes sense. I could even go for that. And I would even give up my 1x2 call just to do it. Yep, everybody's got to turn their 1x2s and 2x1s and 2x2 calls in unless you're already Morse coded in it. And in order to get it again, you have to have Morse code credentials. Yeah, I like that idea. I mean, there's no real big incentive between general and extra. I was just trying to think of a reason to say, hey, it would put. I don't even tell people to upgrade to extra. It's really not necessary. But there should be some kind of incentive, or even an extra band that we get. Give us the whole 220 band, and nobody else could use it unless you're an extra. Do something for us. Give us something. Let it be worth it. That's what I'm going for. N4DTB, you're next on my list. This is N9TN with the Sunday Morning Coffee Net.
N4DTB. Hope everyone's having a very good week, past week, and good weekend. Number one is on Morse code, and at one time I had the same thought, but over the last several years I've heard a lot more people in that, so something that I know when it was a requirement, you hardly ever heard people using CW. You break there. You had the knowledge, but just from what I heard, just some people just got burned out trying to learn it. So I do think we ought to have somewhat of a incentive, but I'm not going to tell anybody not to upgrade to extra. In fact, that's one of my goals this year, is to get my extra. Question number 2. I read some. I've been reading a lot of Christian history, early Christian fathers' writings and things over the years. But I also like to read some fiction as well. Let me let it drop. Ross, for breakfast, I'm probably going to have a protein shake. Back to you, JJ, from N4DTB.
All right. Yep. That'll do it. Protein shake. Ugh. Anyway, those things taste like old lead paint. That brings us to our next check-in period here on the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. So give me your call sign phonetically, announce your name and location. This is N9TN Net Control. This is the Sunday Morning Coffee Net taking check-ins. Taking check-ins, please call N9TN. All right, I think this is the lightest net we've had this year. Next on my list, I have KQ4IHI. Good morning, Paul. Hope you're doing okay. This is N9TN.
Well, good morning, JJ, and everybody else here on the net this morning. Good to have you here. As far as CW, I think people should receive credit for accomplishing CW. In fact, I know years ago when they had it as a requirement, they had different levels, 5 words, I think 13 and 20 words, I think is where they were. And whatever they decided to test at, I think it's something you should be able to put on your license or, have on the FCC's licensing thing that show that you've accomplished it. That would be fine. But I'm not into excluding people because they don't do CW. That would be like you don't speak Spanish or you don't speak French, you can't get on the air. And I'm just not into that. Some people master CW easily and others don't. I know had CW not been a requirement back in the 70s, I would probably had my license in the 70s because I did study for it and I did have the technical part down. I'm a very technical person and I am terrible on CW. I could never get up to 5 words a minute. I got the code down, but not so that I could listen. So if you think about it as you'll be excluding people again and your group will drop its membership again, you might want to rethink about the possibility of shutting people out. Now, I do believe just because CW, the way it operates, that you do need certain sections on each band that are isolated for them, and I encourage that. I want to keep it going. It is a good part of our hobby here.
All right, Paul, I don't know if you were done. You just cut off, or you may have timed your radio out. Were you finished? N9TN. All right. Paul dropped off to the face of the earth. All right, that brings me down to the bottom of the list here on the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. I'm going to take a pause for some more check-ins, see if there's anybody else wishing to check in. Please give your call sign using phonetics, announce your name and location. This is the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Please call.
Kilo 4, Oscar Mike Yankee, Mike in Spurgeon.
All right, Mike, I have you. KK4OMY. Any others wishing to check into the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, please call.
4NRI Kingsport, Gary.
Holy cow, it's a band opening. Good morning, Gary. K4NRI. Any others wishing to check into the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, please call. All right, nothing heard. KK4OMY, do you need the questions again, or do you have them? N9TN with the Sunday Morning Coffee Net.
I do not. I picked up at the end of the last person's comments.
All right, perfect. Believe it or not, I have them right here. Question number 1, Morse Code. Do you think we need to make it a requirement to get amateur radio extra? Question number 2, do you like to read? If so, who's your favorite author? And then question number 3 is, what's for breakfast? What are we eating this morning? This is N9TN.
Backwards breakfast, I would possibly pancake sausage on a stick by Jimmy Dean, maybe oatmeal. Authors, don't do much reading. I'll just have to go with the Bible on that one. And, of course, that author's God. And this is the reason I went in reverse. What was the first question?
Morse Code. It's all about Morse code. Do you think we need to make it a requirement to get amateur extra, the amateur extra license? And the reason being is there's not really too much an incentive to get extra. I mean, you have to take a 50-question test just to get a very small sliver of band segments on a couple bands. So there's really not an incentive to get that coveted, everybody wants it, for what reason, license. So do you think it should be a requirement to get the amateur extra? N9TN, back to you.
Kind of got mixed feelings on it, as I think he said a minute ago. If I had to, I would be doing very good just at 5 words per minute. You know, it's one of those deals. I know the code. I could send it, but I can't copy it. By the time I figure out what this one letter is, the other one's done gone by. And I do still try to practice that and learn it listening to a YouTube video. But to say it, so if it had been mandatory for the tech or general, I would have maybe squeaked by. I don't know. It'd have been difficult. Probably wouldn't have got it. So it would be nice, as he said, to have that accomplishment recognized some way, but to make it mandatory, I'm going to have to go with no.
All righty, stand by, Mike. We're going to go through our 7-3 round here in just a few minutes. K4NRI. My goodness, Gary, where in the world have you been? This is N9TN.
I'm not going to go into it, but I do have some medical issues, so I just go back and forth to doctors, and they're fixing to send me to a specialist, so to see if they can solve maybe my problem, which I don't know if they can or not. But anyway, with that, we'll just leave it. As far as Morse code, the FCC's done made a decision. I don't think it should be a requirement for extra class. For no more band segment than you get, I can't do everything that I want to do in amateur radio with a general class license, so it very well satisfies me, and I would think in the future that you'll see those band segments give up with a general class license. And probably the test questions will be more for a general class license than it has in the past. But anyway, let's see, what was the other question? One question was what I'm had for breakfast was oatmeal, and do I read? Yes, I read, but I read mostly electronics books.
All right, sounds good. Sounds real good. Well, that brings me back to the bottom of the list here on the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Is there anybody else wishing to check in? We'll do this one more time here. Anybody wishing to check in to the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, please call.
Control. Checking Kilo Mike 4, Alpha Charlie Romeo, KM4 ACR, James in Mechanic County, Virginia.
All right, James, I have you. Anybody else? Anybody else wishing to check in, please call. All right, James, you're on board here. KM4ACR, good morning to you. N9TN.
Morning, JJ Neighborhood, KM4ACR. As far as the extra requiring Morse code, I don't think so. I feel like the last guy said, you already made the decision to not require it. I don't feel like it should be required. And to your books, I don't read much, to be honest, so I couldn't tell you if I had a favorite author. I'm not a big book person. I should probably start reading more, but I don't read much. And what's for breakfast? I'll probably do some old cereal like normal, but turn it back over to you, AM4ACR.
All right, sounds good. Sounds really good. All right, that does it here. We're going to go through our comment and our 7-3 round. I did want to remind everybody that the Thursday night coffee after brew will be on the 14511 machine. That's this Thursday at 8:30 p.m. and that repeater does not require a tone. So that's 145.11 for the Thursday night coffee after brew. So don't forget that. All right, we'll go all the way back up here to the top of the list. Bill, do you have anything else for the net? This is N9TN.
Well, JJ, on a parting note, since you like historical fiction, it's been a few years since I read it, but there's Patrick O'Brien come out with a series of books. It's about a naval commander, a British naval commander during the Napoleonic War. That was just excellent. There's 21 volumes to that series, and they are all just excellent. So I'd highly recommend them if you're interested in that. Other than that, just 73 to everybody. Stay warm and dry, and have a good week. This is K4TWP.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah, I've read some of those. I don't like war. That's a stipulation. No, I do like some, but not focused around it. I don't want the whole thing to be about war, or even half of it for that matter, or fighting or anything like that. Oh boy, I gotta be picky, don't I? All right, Bill, make yourself a good day. 7-3 to you. Marcus, do you have anything additionally for the Sunday morning coffee net? KO4EBC N9TN.
Keep it short and say thanks for calling the net, JJ. You did a great job and great net. Everybody have a safe week, and looks like we're going to have some sunny weather and warmer weather. 65 degrees Wednesday, so everybody enjoy it. Spring's right around the corner. 7-3, everybody. Take care. From KO4EBC.
All right, Marcus, make yourself a good day. 7-3 to you. Tom, you're next on my list. Do you have anything else for the net? K9LTR, N9TN.
N9TN, K9LTR. Well, the sun's coming up. It looks like it's going to be a nice sunny day today. Looks like the week is going to be warmer, like I think it was Marcus said. So everybody enjoy the warm weather and have a safe week. And with that, I'll say 73s to everybody. K9LTR, back to you.
All right, Tom, 7-3 to you. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Dwayne, you're next on my list. Do you have anything else for the Sunday morning coffee net? KD4NT N9TN.
Thanks, JJ. No, I don't really have anything other than just everybody have a good week, and yeah, just like somebody said a little while ago, Wednesday's going to be a pretty nice day, 65 degrees. I mean, you can't beat that in February. Anyway, hope everybody has a good day and a good weekend, and well, everybody take care. 7-3 to you, KD4NT.
All right, sounds good to me. Yep, I would like it to be 65 degrees year-round with overnight lows at 55. So 65 degrees all year-round, and you can have your overnight lows as 55. That's perfect weather for me. You have yourself a good day, Dwayne. Les, you're next. Hope you have a good day. And for TLB, this is N9TN with the Sunday Morning Coffee Net.
November 4th, Tango Lima Bravo, Les in Johnson City. Hope everybody has a good rest of the week and a good week coming. And I'll say 73s. This is November 4th, Tango Lima Bravo.
right, perfect. You make yourself a wonderful Sunday, and we'll catch you next time. KZ4IT, Richard, do you have anything additionally for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net? This is N9TN.
Yeah, I'd just like to add, I hope everybody has a good week. Thanks for doing the net this morning, JJ. And I hope everybody gets to enjoy that good warm weather. I'll say 7-3 and KZ4IT. Back over to N9TN.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for checking in and being part of the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Ken, in Quiet Lodi, do you have anything additionally for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net? KD4WMX N9TN.
Well, thank you, JJ. This is KD4WMX, Ken in Quiet Lodi. It is quiet and beautiful. Blue skies and everything. But as far as Mac goes, I was just bragging on him because he took the time to learn Morse Code. And I want to thank Todd for letting us use this repeater, and JJ for running the net. And I'll say 73 to everybody. And have an awesome week. KD4WMX clear.
All right. Well, you make yourself a good day, Ken. Hope you have a wonderful Sunday. KI4AMD. Mac, do you have anything additional for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net? This is N9TN.
N9TN and the net from KI4AMD. Let's see. I have a little bit extra for the net. A little unsolicited advice on how to learn Morse code. I would advise anybody to get a paddle and plug it into your HF radio. And about every HF radio has a way to activate a practice mode where it'll beep at you, but it won't transmit. Then set your speed around 20 words per minute and send everything you can. Just like open up a book and put it in front of the radio and send whole pages out of that book with that paddle and kind of get used to it. That was something I learned in my CW Ops class. I started sending a lot of stuff, and practice and sending kind of gives you a feel for what it's supposed to sound like, and is a great way to kind of get over the hump and learn Morse code and learn it at a speed that you can actually carry on a QSO. But anybody's interested in learning, that's how I would do it if I had it to do over again. I started with a lot of trying to practice copying, and it was very slow going. You still have to practice the copying, but I found that practicing copying was easier after I practiced sending. Nothing else to say but 73, so I'll turn it back over to you, JJ. N9TN, KI4AMD.
All right, sounds good. Yep, that's how I learned the phonetic alphabet. I worked at the hospital as a courier driver, and I would go out, and while I was on my route, I would read the road signs phonetically, and that's how I memorized that. So I'm sure that would definitely help. Thank you for checking in, Matt, or Mac. I don't know why I said Matt. But stranger things have happened. N4DTB, David, do you have anything additional for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net? This is N9TN.
N4DTB, and just wish everyone a wonderful rest of the day. Get out and enjoy the warmer weather that's coming, and stay warm, and have a very good week. And I'll say 7-3 from N4DTB.
All right, make yourself a good day, David, and good to hear you. KQ4HI, Paul, do you have anything else for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net? This is N9TN.
Jay, I want to apologize to you guys for, I guess I talked too long, let my radio time out. so you only get part of my conversation before. But it is nice and sunny, and I'm glad to see that. I will remind you all, it is less than a month till spring now. I think most of us like spring and fall real well. But with that, I will give you the bad news that the grass will start growing. So with all that great news, I will let you go for the week. And this is KQ4 IHI 73 to everybody.
Oh, you said a bad word here on the air. David, I wasn't going to hand out a demerit today, but I'm going to on grass. That's a bad word. Anyway, Paul, you have a good day. KK4OMY. Mike, do you have anything additional for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net? This is N9TN.
Just everybody have a good week, and just a suggestion to focus on what we're thankful for versus what maybe we don't have, and help the week go by better. And thank you, JJ, for running the net. 73 from KK4OMY.
All right, Mike, you have yourself a wonderful day, and good to hear you. And you're sounding good. That's probably the best I've heard you sound on the repeater in a while. K4NRI. Gary, do you have anything additional for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net? This is N9TN. KM4ACR. James, do you have anything additionally for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net? This is N9TN.
Hope everybody has a good week and a good day, and just looking forward to a little bit warmer weather. Hopefully the snow will melt up here. But anyway, you'll have a good one. 73 KM4ACR.
All right, perfect. Well, James, you're the last on my list. So before I take late check-ins, I do want to go over the announcements again. Don't forget about our website at cqtn.org/coffee. Subscribe to our email newsletter, sent out every Saturday about dinner time, and it'll give you the questions for the net the next day. Also, it tells you where the Thursday night coffee after brew will be, which this week it'll be on the 14511. And if you're interested in the 10th annual ham radio presentation at Town Acres Elementary School, we're looking for some in-person help. So contact me on that, and we'll get you on the list and get you going for that. That's a fun time. I'm still in the middle of converting the email list to my email service. It's not working out like I want to. I have to manually put everything in, and it's been difficult for me because I've been very sick this past week, and dealing with all my autoimmune on top of it. So it's been a very, very hard week for me. Just about bailed out on y'all this morning, but I didn't think I'd had enough time to let somebody know about the net, so here I am. It's the first time I've been on ham radio all week. Anyway, before we go, we'll take late check-ins only, and this will be in and outs. We're done with the net. We've already had the questions. We've already said goodbye. I'm just going to see if there's anybody else wishing to check in. In and outs only. This is N9TN with the Sunday Morning Coffee Net.
Put me in there, JJ. KE4CCB, Kilo Echo 4, Charlie Bravo. Todd over here in Bluff City. Looks to be a beautiful day today. Hope y'all have a good one. 7-3.
All right, Todd. I have you. Do you need to make a comment, or should we just move along?
No, I'm good so far. Have been working on the DMR stuff again, and didn't get done with what I wanted to get done. Got a couple other issues and things like that I've been working on. The machine's still up and running, but it's and I do have it on Brandmeister again, or at least it was yesterday when I left up there. So been working on that, and trying to get it to where I can remotely reset it from down here. And so it's in the works. Hopefully I can get that thing going. I'm going to try to go up in the near future. I don't know exactly when, probably March or so, and just start on one end of the mountain and go to the other. Trying to get everything tuned and just checked out, make sure the SWRs are good and all that good stuff for the upcoming season, and hopefully get everything tuned up so it'll stay operating, I hope. KE4CCB, everybody have a good day.
All right, Todd, thank you so much for what you do with the repeaters and amateur radio in general. And you're a busy man anyway, but to have all that on top of it, wow. I'm not going to bow to you because there is no way that I'd be able to get up, but I will shake your hand next time I see you. Appreciate it more than you know. That's KE4CCB, the repeater owner of the 442.2 and the Fusion/analog repeater, the 443.8. The DMR repeater that is connected to Brandmeister whenever it wants to be. That is 442.7, color code 7. And if you need to know the talk group plan on that, you can email me and I can tell you, or Todd. Todd also owns a GMRS repeater. It's 462.55. That is a permission only repeater. So if you would like to use his repeater, he don't deny you access, but you can lose it just as fast as you can get it. So if you want to get on GMRS in your license, send a copy to Todd, and he'll let you use the GMRS repeater. It's a really good one here in the area. All right, enough about blowing Todd's head up. Get the big head here. Any more in and out check-ins? In and out check-ins only for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Please call. All right, perfect. That's the 6-1 edition. Wow. We had a total number of 18 check-ins for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net this week. I'd like to thank everyone that participated in that this morning. Remember, join us next Sunday at 7 a.m. In the meantime, refill that cup of joe. Enjoy the rest of your day. The net today was held on the 442.2 repeater that is located on Holston Mountain. We would like to thank Todd Malone personally, since he's listening. KE4CCB for the use of the repeater this morning. And I'll now return it back to normal amateur radio use. I'll say 7-3. Everybody, N9TN, Boring, Tennessee.